Hello, my name is Mikopath, and we have to talk about LEGO Batman. Is it just me, or has it kind of fallen off? The original wave and early years of DC superheroes were so good. Quite possibly the upper echelon of what could be done with that property at the time. I remember the tangible hype when the theme was reborn in 2012, and the sets were so dynamic and fun, perfect for a kid my age. But something has changed over the past few years. Maybe I'm just old and jaded, but with the exception of the LEGO Batman movie sets, which are amazing, good Batman sets are few and far between. This year we got like 3 Batman vs Joker sets, and apart from the Shadow Box, which is too expensive, the DC page on LEGO's site is like walking through a graveyard. We're in desperate need of new life in the LEGO Batman theme. Since the release of my last video, the Orange Box, I've been working on designing 4 original Batman sets of my own interpretation. I've commissioned artists, designed box art, sunk hours into rendering and texture work, and I'm so excited to show you. They're full of fun gimmicks, vibrant characters, wacky vehicles, and maybe a special guest. If you end up enjoying this and you want more, tell me. Like, comment, share, tell me characters that you want to see next. I know that I've made a few Valve videos and some of you are waiting for more Valve projects, but in truth I'm a much bigger Batman fan than anything else. Let's get started. Starting with our smallest set, Clayface's Mixer Mix-Up. This set comes in at 397 pieces, including 2 minifigures and 2 vehicles. Let's start with the figures. First up is our flagship hero, Batman. I wanted to go with a super 2006 reminiscent design with new modern elements, so let's go over those. Starting at the top is the brand new cowl model that I made, which is adapted from the 2012 cowl, but with a shortened back, for a less boxy head profile. It does come with the caveat of no double-sided head, but I think that's a worthy trade. His head has a skin-toned face print on a solid black base head, which completes the whole cowl look. He has a standard fabric back cape, and his torso is heavily inspired by the 2006 look, which is my personal favourite version. It includes what I think is the best bat symbol, muscle tone details, and the yellow bat belt. His arms are dual moulded in grey and black with black hands. His waist is solid black, and his legs are dual moulded and printed with shorts and boots. The second figure, Clayface. I've always thought that it was a crying shame that we never got to see a Clayface figure similar to the ones in LEGO Batman 1 and 2, so I tried my absolute best to create what I think a modern LEGO group would make in that vein. His head droops over his torso, and I created this headpiece by combining the Pigsy head from the Monkey Kid theme and the Azog head from the Hobbit theme. The figure itself is solid brown, with head, torso, waist, and leg printing. He also comes with a brown boxing glove to replace one of his hands. I am really happy with the decals on this one. I think it captures the classic Clayface look exactly how I wanted, and I am in disbelief that I drew this. Now, onto the set. Starting very small with Batman's most understated vehicle in the entire wave, to keep the piece count down, admittedly, is Batman's sled. Ideal for gliding over any clay residue being left on Gotham's streets, it features a black, grey and yellow colour scheme with some bat wings for additional theming. But realistically, the main feature of this set is the Clayface cement mixer. Starting at the front with this chassis, the ugly mug of Clayface is in place of a seating area or windshield. I think the visage is quite accurate here, tied together with these printed eyepieces, which bring a strong animated series look to the face. On top of the chassis, there are 2 studs free, which you can place Clayface's upper body on to expand the look that he is shapeshifting into this truck. On the back, there is a simple but functional cog system which can rotate the cement mixer. On the back, there is a nozzle with a stud shooter. Along the bed of the truck, there are many sloped and curved pieces to provide a droopy clay effect. Finally, the wheelbases are a lighter brown and with darker brown rubber wheels, which would undoubtedly be quite rare. Anyway, finally, there's the box. I love making the box art, and this time I got some assistance. The Batman illustration you can see all over the box, I commissioned from Narcloss on Twitter. He caught my eye with this amazing Gordon Freeman post that he made a couple days before my Orange Box video came out, and I knew from that day I was going to commission them and get them involved in this project. They deserve more attention, so send it their way. I'll leave their link in the description. The backgrounds, however, were all created by myself. starting with a 3D render of the set using an amazing city generator geometry node setup in Blender that I bought a little while ago from a guy called Moro Fanti, which I'll also leave the link for in the description. Combined with a comic style shader and some street dressing assets from BlenderKit, I then render those all out and do a bunch of Photoshop work to get it looking right, as well as adding all the typical LEGO box details. This particular box shows Clayface and Batman driving right past the Gotham City Central Bank. The set number for this is 061040, which represents the 10th of June 1940, Clayface's first appearance. Now I'll admit, commissioning art and spending time making these is not cheap, so if you'd like to support my work, I do have a Patreon where I show my progress on my new projects as they go. This particular video has been 4 months in the making and I've worked really hard on it, and I want to make as many of these types of videos as I can. I'm going to stop yapping and get back on topic now. 1 down, 3 to go. Let's dive headfirst into the next set, Two-Face's High-Speed Hijacking. This set has 651 pieces consisting of 2 vehicles and 4 minifigures. Let's waste no time and cover these figures. First up, we have the second variation of my Batman figure. This one draws a lot of inspiration from the all-black Michael Keaton costume, with a modern bat symbol design and a yellow outline. While his suit has less printing, in general, I still think he is unmistakably Batman and suits this set extremely well. Next up is probably my personal favourite figure that I've ever made for a project, Harvey Dent, also known as Two-Face. Inspired heavily by 70s fashion, he wears a striking blue and yellow shirt printed on a yellow base torso. The torso also sports a wavy striped red and blue shirt and handkerchief, red buttons, and a blue and yellow split tie. His left arm is yellow with a black glove, and his right arm is blue with a white glove. He features a front and back printed waist, a yellow leg, and a blue leg. His hairpiece is custom molded from a combination of the short afro and spiky afro pieces, one half in black and the other half bleached blonde. His head is a medium nougat with a burned blue face print inspired by the animated series look, as well as a yellow eye. Add on top of that some big, bushy, gorgeous mutton chops to match his hair. He's also wielding a revolver, in addition to his iconic scratched coin. Finally, we'll talk about these 2 extra figures, whom I've dubbed Heads and Tails. They are Two-Face's henchmen. Heads features dark brown legs, a yellow zip-up jacket, with an illustration of a coin, featuring Harvey's good side, the heads of the coin. He also has a similar striped undershirt to Harvey. He has the combed sideways hairpiece in brown, as well as a mustache with a neutral expression. Tails features a similar outfit, with dark blue legs, a light blue zip-up jacket with an illustration of the opposite side of the coin, and Two-Face's bad side. He has slicked back hair and an absolute chin strap of a beard. Let's talk about these vehicles though. First, Two-Face's stolen police van, vandalized and modified accordingly to match his look. The silhouette of this vehicle took a lot of inspiration from 50s panel vans, as in my interpretation of Gotham, I want it to feel like a timeless city, to reflect the long and ever-expanding Batman history. Starting from the front of the van is a large bumper with a custom Gotham license plate labeled Lawyer Up, which of course is a not-so-subtle reference to Better Call Saul. The right side of the van is mostly unaltered, coloured in the standard blue with a white stripe and dark blue skirting. In addition to some blue transparent 1x1 bow pieces, it features multiple printed pieces marking it as a GCPD patrol vehicle, including the hilarious slogan, "We light the signal." The opposite side is yellow with an orange stripe and dark brown skirting. In addition, there are a multitude of printed pieces that Two-Face and his henchmen have scribed onto the van. I really wanted to take inspiration from Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, much like the recent City of Madness comic that has an amazing rendition of Two-Face. I love you, Christian Ward. All the scribbles point towards Harvey's ideology, scales of justice, blindfolds, flipping coins, and falling graphs. Each side has some spinning gatlings with matching colours for each side, which is definitely not a legal modification. The side doors are openable, as are the back doors. The chassis has a removable roof, as does the back of the van. Finally, the wheels on the left side of the car have gold hubcaps, and the wheels on the right side of the car have silver hubcaps. On the other hand, we have the one and only Batmobile. The Batmobile is sleek, stealthy, and commanding. It sports a tricolour scheme of black, dark blue, and grey. The dark blue comes through in this accent stripe that goes from the front, beside the engine, and all the way back to the wings of the car. Lower is the grey stripe, which matches the hubcaps of the vehicle. The front is a stud narrower than the back, but the wheels are aligned, which gives the car a less stocky profile and increases the slick look. Combined with the exposed engine, yellow headlights, and no damn roof, Batman is putting it all on the line to look cool and stop crime at any means necessary. Behind the driver's seat is a removable intake looking thing, which can be used to store gadgets and haphazardly discard definitely not dead guys. Round the back are two huge exhausts, angular brake lights, and grills to enhance the look even further. Overall, this is probably my favourite set in the whole wave, personally. The contrast between the Batmobile and Two-Face's van serves for excellent visual storytelling and just a dynamic pairing in general. Combine that with what's my favourite figure in the whole project, and it just makes it all the better. Let's talk about the box quickly. This was originally going to have the characters driving past the GCPD building, but given the angle that I chose for the final render, it didn't fit. The set number for this one is 062042, which, of course, is Two-Face's first appearance, the 20th of June, 1942. On to the third set. This is Joker's Big Balloon Blast. This set has 820 pieces and 3 minifigures, and this one comes with a very special guest. I'm gonna pass you over to the #1 Killer Moth fan, BD1P. Take it away, Ben.
My name is BD1P, and I'm sort of like the Killer Moth expert around these parts. Mike asked me to talk about Joker's Big Balloon Blast, and I'm happy to oblige. First off, let's talk about these minifigures. The version of Batman included in this set is similar to ones you may have already seen, but there's a key difference: the coloring. This Batman figure uses blue accents instead of black, which I absolutely love. Sure, Batman is a dark and brooding character, but the world of comics is meant to be bold and colorful, and these blue highlights really accentuate that. He also borrows the yellow outline seen from the all-black figure on the bat symbol, which is a nice touch. This is by far my favorite iteration of the custom Batman, and it doesn't stop there. If you thought the Batman figure was great, take a look at Joker. Somewhere between Jack Nicholson and Cesar Romero's Joker, this incredible design merges two of the most iconic variations of the character. This all goes without mentioning the crazy costume he's got on. To go along with the vehicle we'll touch on later, Joker's been outfitted in an explorer's getup, and it looks so natural on the character, I didn't even notice he was wearing the suit and tie until my second pass through. The dark purple jacket, green shirt, and pink neckerchief remind me a lot of his brief plane crash stunt in Batman the Animated Series, minus the pilot's helmet, of course. In fact, I'm glad the figure doesn't have a helmet, because then we wouldn't get to see the incredible custom hairpiece. A combination of the swept back hair and the receding hairline piece, this just screams Batman 66 at me for all the right reasons. Sure, the hair is quite a bit darker on this figure, but take into account that he's also being paired with a much darker toned Batman, and well, the match makes a lot more sense. A few details that I really enjoy from this figure alone are the coattails and the legs. I feel like they just tie the whole look together, especially the fade from the torso piece into the coattails. Overall, this figure is next to perfect. I've talked ad nauseum about how much I love the classic Killer Moth design. The bug antennas, the green stripes, the moth emblem to match Batman, and of course the big fairy wings. The major difference here with Mike's design from the peak video game interpretation of the character is the addition of the fur collar, which is a genius addition. In the comics, Killer Moth is often depicted with a big fur jacket to really sell to the reader that, yeah, this guy's trying really hard to be a crime boss. And it's something I've always thought was missing from the LEGO game interpretation. Now we not only get to keep the giant wings, but also delve into a different aspect of the character. It's a small addition, but it adds a lot. This leads us into the vehicles, the main focus of the set. Take the Batcopter, for instance. Not only does it perfectly match Batman's color scheme with the navy blue and yellow accents, but it's also got tiny little bat wings on the side and a little bat wing tail fin on the back. Hell, even the glass is tinted yellow. It not only makes for an aesthetically pleasing vehicle, but one that looks cool as hell too. Of course, no Batcopter is complete without some sort of Joker counterpart, and Mike hits this one out of the park. This might be one of the craziest and best vehicles in all of LEGO Batman. Let's address one of the two elephants in the room, these giant ass balloons. The way they all squeeze out of the center of the Joker body like a bouquet of oversized flowers is brilliant, really capturing the chaotic nature of Joker. There is then, of course, the Joker body itself. I'd have to say my favorite detail are the eyes, popping out in random directions. Combine that with the yellowish buck teeth and you've got yourself a nightmare-fueled face that still manages to be quite funny. I mean, come on, it's hard to be scared when he's kicking his little feet in the air like his crush just texted him back. This hot air balloonified Joker is incredible. I feel like I've been talking about it forever and there's still more to touch on. The receding hair, the small balloons on the side, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without the perilous rope ladder for them to exchange a few punches on. This is set 021051, Joker's Big Balloon Blast. The set number being a clever reference to my boy Killer Moth's first appearance on February 10th of 1951. The box itself still has some neat details to touch on before I take my leave, like the presence of Ace chemicals in the background art. As most of you are probably aware, this is commonly the place where Joker becomes the Joker by falling into a vat of acid. And of course, in the LEGO world, Killer Moth is often seen as sort of an underling of the Joker, especially in Batman 1, which lends even more credence to the inclusion of this location. Everything we covered previously is shown on the box, alongside a piece number and some more details revolving around the set. The colors are amazing and the box really pops, especially if you put it on a store shelf alongside other regular LEGO sets. It's an incredible addition to the LEGO Batman lineup and has some of the most creative character designs I've ever seen. Thanks Mike for having me on, and please everyone, for the love of God, give LEGO Killer Moth some more love.
Thank you so much, Ben. Everyone say thank you to BD1P and go watch his videos. They're great. Anyway, let's cover this last set. This one started the entire project. I present to you Riddler's Jet Jeopardy. This set is the largest of the four at 935 pieces. It's got 2 vehicles and 2 minifigures. So let's talk about the figures once again. Starting off simple with Batman, which is the exact same as the Clayface Batman figure. I did consider making another suit style, but I think it was important to make it clear which suit is supposed to be the flagship design of these waves. So with that in mind, we'll just move on to the next figure, the Riddler. Here we have everyone's favourite 400+ trophy placing scoundrel. I wanted to give him a sort of 50s greaser type look and lean a little into the Arkham Knight iteration while cleaning him up a tiny bit and just making it look like he has his head on straight. Unlike Arkham's Eddie. Starting from the top, he's rocking the short wavy center part hairpiece in dark red. This blends itself well into Riddler's messy sideburns and chin patch, with some stubble. He also wears gold and purple rimmed sunglasses with green lenses. All style and barely any function. Top that all off with a signature snarky smirk, and he's already looking the part. He also has an alternate, more frustrated face print with lower glasses. Next we have the torso, which I first must give a heavy thanks to my partner Terri, who was an immense help in designing this figure. They helped me nail down the design of this shirt, specifically the awesome integrated question marks on the collar. They'll be mentioned again before this video's up. As for the rest of the shirt, it sits on a solid green base with a dark green stripe. In that green stripe are green question marks and 2 gold stripes to separate those colors. As for his arms, he has dual molded and printed arms in green and flesh color, each with unique printing. His left arm has a gold question mark on the upper arm and many curly red hairs on his forearm. He also wears a purple glove on this hand, which he holds his iconic question mark cane. This piece is created by combining the pirate hook and the bar piece in gold, which gives it a compact but recognizable shape. His other arm also has the gold question mark on the upper arm and the red hairs on the lower arm, in addition to an arm tattoo in the shape of a question mark fishhook. I like to think he views his puzzles as bait, hook, line and sinker for the Batman. As for his legs, they're quite simple dark green jeans with some purple stitching and lighter green patchwork, showing that the Riddler isn't one to waste, whether it be time, money or a good pair of jeans. Now let's talk about these vehicles. First up, the Batwing. Naturally, this had to have the bat shape. That was a given. If this thing flies up towards the clouds and poses in front of the moon, it has to hit that shape. However, there are a lot of bat-shaped bat wings. So I went a little bit out of the ordinary and went with this much narrower design. It also doubles as an awesome size contrast to the jet and comes off super sleek and almost vicious. Starting off though, I want to talk about these foldable wings on this build. They can rotate 90 degrees down when the vehicle's parked. And while I was workshopping this, I realized that when the wings fold down, it looks a lot like a Vermont bat, and once you see it, I think it's really hard to unsee. Some other things to point out on the wings are the raised gun details, and the turbines on the underside of the wings, which fit very snugly when the wings are folded. Opening the cockpit, you'll find a dark blue gamer chair with a clean build that had me saying yippee, kicking my feet like a... Listen, I was happy about it. I think it looks really good. On the front are two of those lovely 1x2 plates with the rubber spike extension, making for the perfect bat ears on this thing. Round the back is a swooping tail with a triple flame exhaust, accentuated by these silver pipes. Lastly, of course, there are bat-styled aerials. You gotta justify that vast fortune you got there, right, Bruce? Then lastly, we have the Riddler's jet. It sports an ever-insistent colour scheme of green and dark green, purple and gold. Naturally, the main aesthetic feature of this build is how many integrated question marks are throughout this build. Starting of course with the giant wings, which once again requires some thanks to Terri, who helped me go through various different iterations of this design before we finally settled on this sharp angular look. The actual design is made almost entirely of 2x2 tiles and 2x2 triangle tiles, and it gives the wings a really striking profile, and it can pretty quickly be recognized as Riddler adjacent. So many thanks to T for making sure that that all worked. Another, and my personal favourite, is the question mark integration on the large gold one found on the main aerial of the plane. I am so happy with how this came out. I think it achieved the exact look that I had in my mind's eye. It looks so nice, and it oozes charisma from both the story and the character and the world. I think it's perfect. There are also some question marks on the back fins, and some on the end of those really long gold rods, which are capped with those amazing question mark pieces from the LEGO Batman movie sets. At the back is this giant engine with these purple flames, really committing to the colour scheme, making the jet look quite beastly as it flies. On the underside we have retractable landing gear in the front and the back, as well as this latch, which releases a trap door and drops Riddler trophies onto the rooftops for Batman to find later. Rounding out, we have the cockpit, with a very poseable seat in purple. Overall, I am so proud of this particular vehicle. I think it stands as proof of what my main goal of this project was, which was to improve my skills of building vehicles. I think I've done that here. Now, talking about this box, the set number is 082348, which of course is the first appearance of the Riddler, August 23rd, 1948. The box art shows Riddler and Batman racing through the Gotham City skyline, with Wayne Tower and GothCorp buildings in the background. This set came out so good and honestly makes for an excellent centerpiece for this wave. But that's it. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to make more of these. I'm always trying to make projects better than my last. So let me know if you'd like to see more. Tell me which DC characters you want to see. Tell me which vehicles, what locations. I'll take anything into consideration. And I know some of you are waiting for more Valve videos, and I promise they'll come, but I like hearing ideas from all sides. And with that all said, thank you so much for watching. Consider checking out the Patreon, like and subscribe and all that nonsense. I have been Mikopath. Thank you for watching.